Welcome back to the River City Hardball Podcast. We're presented by DBAT Jacksonville, and we're partnered each and every summer with the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League. And what a pleasure it is to have the Commissioner, Chris Lein, and the VP of Operations, Fran Delaney, joining us right now on 1010XL and 92.5 FM here on this Sunday morning on the All-Pro Roofing Hotline. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Commissioner Lein, I'll start with you. For those people that don't know about the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League, you're reaching a new audience here on 1010XL this morning. Tell people about your league, Chris.
Well, Andrew, it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having us on as well this morning. We started the league about 4 years ago. We're in our fourth season. Fran and I decided that there was a niche to be had here in Jacksonville of a league like this, featuring college baseball players for 8 weeks. Get them out here for about 30 games, 3 or 4 games a week, to improve their skills, to ultimately take someone's spot, perhaps in the fall season at their college that they're going to, or just get on the coach's radar again, and you do that by playing. And when we've been pretty good at providing that those fields and the at bats and the innings for those guys to do that. So it's a wood bat league. We carry 22, 23-man rosters. We want the guys to play. I love our staff. Our coaching staff does a good job at making sure everyone does get the time that they require to improve on their skills. And it's worked out pretty well. Fran and I have been very pleased this year. It's worked out easier each year as our process gets spread out. Francis, did I say something funny?
Oh.
As our process gets spread out across the nation, more and more guys want in. We had about 225 applications this year, and we had to turn away a fair amount, and that's disturbing because we want this league to grow to 6 to 7 teams, and it will in the future.
Fran Delaney is with us as well. He's the VP of Operations for the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League. Fran, from the first idea of this league to where it sits now in its fourth year, how much has this league grown before your eyes?
Tremendously. We've had a lot of growth, and you can see it really we can see, and this is not a dig on anybody who started an early season for us or early seasons, but the talent has gotten a lot better. As the word gets out, more people are coming. More people trust who we are and what we're doing. And I think the difference between the talent then and the talent now, you can see the difference on the field. And I think that's the biggest thing. Also, the other big difference is there's a lot of people who want to get involved now. There's a lot of people from the outside that are baseball guys or people around the community that are now trying to get in, right? They want to be part of this because they see it's actually something it's going to hold. It's a solid league. It's run properly. And I think that's the biggest key, or the biggest thing we've seen is growth in the talent, along with growth on the community, kind of trusting in the product.
Chris, from your position in the commissioner's spot, how do you feel the league has grown now in the fourth year?
I think our position player strength is really coming along. But what has surprised me over the last 2 seasons is the very good strength of the arms, the pitching that has come along. We have just this last week we've added some players. We're always looking for pitchers, but we added some pitchers that had legitimate D1 arms. And just watching that game last night with a couple of those arms throwing, both dugouts were on the top rail, watching it close and getting a kick out of it. And that's the fun part of it for us. But that's what the word of mouth does. And basically the CCBL's reputation is we're doing one thing, get these guys the at bats in the innings to improve, and we're holding fast to that motto. And guys trust in our process.
The players that participate in this league, there are Jacksonville area guys from Jacksonville high schools, Jacksonville colleges, but there's also national players. I mean, there's players that come from all over the country to play in this league. I know Killian Mock is a player that's in your league this year. The kid drove from California to Jacksonville and ran into some snags along the way, I've heard. But, I mean, that's just the kind of league that this is. It's Jacksonville, but it's also national too now, right?
It is. It's turned into that way. Another little story that I got a call last week from a a coach that was coaching up in Cape Cod. But he lives here in Jacksonville, and he needed to come back home. And he called me looking for a place to help out with the league, and we're gonna revisit that this weekend to see if there's a spot for him. And that's the kind of stuff I can't send emails and recruit for. I mean, in other words, word's out on the CCBL, and we're legitimate. We're not Cape Cod Northwoods. We're the league, kind of a league in between to fill the void for those kids that need to play.
Tell people, Chris, where you guys play.
We play at Atlantic Coast High School, and we played at the new Ford Family Regional Park, the Brigham Baseball Complex. We've also played a couple games down St. Augustine High School, which we'll probably revisit again this towards the end of the summer. Good complexes all. Atlantic Coast has treated us well throughout the years, and we appreciate their help. But we're excited to be at the Franchi complex there, the Brigham complex rather. It has worked out well. The short fences has not been a deterrent. Some well-pitched ball games there, and some good defensive games. It's fun. I like the atmosphere at the Brigham complex. It looks like a nice little commitment we've made there. I'm appreciative of that. Franny, what do you think?
Yeah, Fran,
Yeah,
what do you
agree.
think about it?
I think it's nice. The field's always in good condition, right? And Atlantic Coast again has been wonderful to us, and we've been appreciative of them. And that's a great field over there. It's just something about playing on that turf too that these kids seem to love. They kind of get true hops, those type of things, and they're all used to pitching on mounds like that thing. So somewhere down the line they're going to have to play on that type of field. So I need to get used to it. So I think they like it. For me, I love it because I do not have to pick up a single rake or fill a mound or drag a field. So that's a great thing after 3 years of being Chris being out there and being everything. So I enjoy it, and they're very, very good to us. Very good to us out there.
Fran, you've got a lengthy umpiring background. Do you guys use JUA umpires? What's your umpiring crew like?
We use folks from JUA, but mostly, not everyone in JUA does college ball. Our whole goal was to have college umpires, so these, especially for the incoming freshmen we have, to understand the difference. Right, when you get to college level, the umpires treat you like men, so to speak. You're still kind of kids in high school, and there's only so much rope they give you, and in college a little bit more. The great thing about our umpires and Randy Olhausen, who does the booking for us, is that they work with the guys. They tell them things. They work with them. This won't work in that league. This is what you got to do. Here's the pitch clock. Here's all these things. And I think that's part of learning too for these guys. I mean, even the guys that have, who maybe not have got a whole bunch of game experience that are playing with us, coming here and understanding those type of things is really important.
Chris, when are your games? Tell people more about when and what time your games are each week.
Well, I think most of the games this year seem to be in the 3:30 and 6:30 time frame, either at Atlantic or at Brigham. Brigham, we're set in stone Mondays and Fridays, 3:30 and 6:30 games. We're also going to hold our first time All-Star game out there, as well as a home run derby on July 11th, I believe. Francis, is that it? That the one?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
So we'll hold a home run derby at 5:30 that day, and then right after that at 7 o'clock will be the All-Star game. And Fran came up with the idea for the home run derby. And Fran, you want to go on it and go get it, man?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do, just to make it interesting, because we want it team oriented. So each team will nominate two guys from their team. That way, they're going to send out their best two home run hitters or potentially home run hitters. They'll do, kind of like a round robin, so to speak. Not a round robin. They'll all hit. All 5 teams will hit. The two with the most combined home runs between 2 players will move on and advance to the final. And then those two will go at it for the championship. Relatively simple, but more team oriented. So you guys can be out there cheering on their guys and those type of things. I think it's important to keep it that way.
Chris, is the league where
Andrew, excuse me, then for the All-Star game with 5 teams, it's kind of interesting how we're going to do it. We'll just nominate the All-Stars. The players will nominate the All-Stars and vote on them. And then we'll collect two teams out of those all-stars. And we're going to have our hitting instructor, Rick Wilkins, and our pitching instructor, Trent Torchia, manage both those teams. And then we'll sit down with the all-star players and they'll have a draft and they'll pick the teams and we'll play a 7-inning game and have some fun with it.
I'm glad you mentioned, Rick Wilkins and Trent Torchia. Those are two guys that Jacksonville people certainly are familiar with. Tell us about the coaches. I mean, there are some local coaches, but I'm sure you get interest from all around the country to coach in this league.
We do. It just comes down to the time frame that they can work with it. I like our staff this year. Returning is Jason Hatcher from East High School. He did a great job last year with the Stingrays, and he's back again. And he loves doing what he's doing right now, and we love having him. Another new coach, Tino Geritano from St. Petersburg. He's coming in to do the Turtles. A seasoned manager, let's put him that way. We're still trying to read Tino. He has some fun out there. I think the guys are enjoying his presence as well. He's got something to bring to the book as well. Tony Canaday from St. Augustine High School joins us this year. Love Tony, does a great job with the boys. Off to a good start with his team as well, the Dolphins. But these two, the next two, I'm real happy to have with us because they were inaugural players 2021 with the CCBL. Caleb Leno played for the Sharks, and I think he was the MVP and the most valuable pitcher, and just had a whale of a year playing for the Sharks. He is managing the Sharks, and he's doing a great job. He's a first-time skipper. He gave us a call and wanted to see if we can make it work, and I go, bring it. It's a great idea. And the second guy, another alumni from that 2021 season, Mark Castle. He played. I believe he played for the Sharks, didn't he, Franny? And now he's managing the Hawks.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, he's managing the Hawks. He's got a lot of energy. Fran and I love watching him out there. He brings a lot to the kids. And it's his first year skipper, and so we're keeping an eye on him, helping him whenever we can to shape his style and what he needs to do and what he wants to do as a manager. Very pleased with the staff. They're all doing a good job. They bought into our process of making sure everyone plays, and we can't ask for anything more.
Wrapping up here with the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League, Fran Delaney and Chris Lein, the commissioner and vice president of operations here. And Fran, is this league where you guys like it? Are you guys want to add, subtract, anything that you think about when you look at 2025 next year?
Man, the more the merrier is what we think. As long as we got the pitching, why not, right? We want to give these kids as much chance and as many looks as they can get. And that's the key. We're not a league about winning or losing. Who cares? It's development. We'll have a playoffs at the end. You can be competitive as you want. Mm-hmm. It's not that we ask you not to be competitive. We want you to be competitive, but also there's things you need to be working on. That's what the summer's for. Things to work on. Enjoy the summer. Have some fun with it. I'd like to have more. I mean, the more we have, the more we're going to grow from people getting involved in those type of things. The more resources that we have to allow us to do those type of things. And that just makes the league better. I think it's one of the things that we shoot for. But we're also aware that, we can only do so much. If we don't have enough pitching, we can't field teams and just, have guys wearing out their arms. Our number one priority is the young men that and keeping them healthy, and then making sure they're getting what they need from a look standpoint. And then, on the very, very back end would be, being competitive.
And a final word on this, Chris, from your perspective, the growth and what you'd like to see of the league. I know that Frank Frangie would like to see you guys play all of your games at the Bragan Baseball Complex, but how do you see it, Chris, as the growth of your league?
Well, I'm glad you brought us to that because we've seen growth this year in things that I don't think Fran and I thought we'd get to this quick. And I want to bring up some of those guys. I mean, first of all, there's Vinny Caldas, the oldest intern in the league. He does a great job for us and managing the press box whenever he can up there.
We're a crew to manage, that's for sure.
Somebody to manage him, I'm not sure. The addition of Matt Healy, who is a baseball manager over at UNF and is now working for us full time. He's our social media guy. He's our video guy. just what we've seen in the first 3 weeks from him and what he can do is something Fran and I wanted to do for the first 3 years, but we never had the time,
Yep.
the knowledge,
More
or
the knowledge, more the knowledge.
yeah. I mean, Franny, I mean, you can expound on what Matt's doing. I mean, just some of the stuff he throws up there. It's
I
like
mean,
this is
just
what
yeah,
we've been wanting.
yeah. It's great. Again, it focuses on highlighting the kids, right? The
Yeah.
players, right? It focuses on their at bat, what they did. Nothing about scores. Who care? You know that it does. You know they do say that, but it's all the line, their stat lines. It gives video. He does a great job of tagging the right folks in it. The program they play for, and themselves, so they can use it and tweet it out. And then also he's made some side videos, like he just put that video out about our Friday game that's going to be on YouTube and stuff. And that video is just awesome. That's nothing A, we have time to do, and B, that we could probably make look that good. And he does it on his phone like it's nothing. And so it's been a godsend. And we've gone up from, I think, at the beginning of the year, we were at like 800, 900 followers on X, and now it's up to like 1,300. And he also has, started a Instagram page and put it out, like stuff that we would never guess to do. Like, Chris and I, we still, stamp on an envelope and send it out.
Did you
Well,
get my stamps? I sent you those stamps last week.
Yeah.
And another part of that, Andrew, is Noah. Noah Schlicksup is starting his 10-game CCBL live YouTube games where he's going to come into the Bragan Field and broadcast from there. And then we're trying out this new PA announcer.
He's average.
Huh? He's average right
He's
now?
average. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're seeing what comes of it.
Yeah.
And we're appreciative of you, Andrew, come on out and doing that for us. I know you enjoy it, and we enjoy you having out there. But one of the other thing I want to do with, we're now a 501 C3, so we've got a board of directors, and the board of directors I chose was guys that had visions, that we want to have visions for the constant growth of the league, and in different angles of not only baseball but finance, but media, etc. I mean, we're going to meet and we want to say, okay, what are we going to do for next year? So that's our approach, and it's a lot of work. I think we enjoy it. I think we enjoy when it's done, because we know we've done a good job again, and that's the fun part about it.
Well, I've been so appreciative of you guys and being able to be a part of this from really day one with you guys back when you started 4 years ago. And it's been a labor of love for me to just be a part of it. And so I try to bring an all-star performance every time when I'm on the mic there on the PA. So I appreciate you guys having me for that. But anything else before we run, Chris? This is always a fun time with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We enjoy, it's work, but we have a lot of fun out there because it's all about the kids, and we'll see stuff out there we've never seen before in all our years of baseball, and just still watching, telling a kid about, hey, let's start a guy off with a curveball and work on it consistency with the curveball for a strike, and then he come in the dugout with his eyes wide open and said, that was cool. And that's the fun part about it for me.
Chris, what before we go, what's your background? Tell people more about your background, Chris.
I have a 30-year pro baseball background. I played in the Yankee organization starting in '79, a long time ago.
I was 10.
You were 10? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I'm glad you brought that up for the listeners, Francis. But I pitched in the Yankee chain for about 5 years, 1 year in the Pirate chain. Then I became a pitching coach at 25, coached for about 14 years, and then worked my way through advanced scouting for the Pirates during the McGuire Sosa era, and that was a blast. Took 11 years off, and then got another 6 in with the White Sox as a pro scout, and where I was handed my golden watch in 2019. But I've been a teacher. I enjoy teaching the game. I enjoy watching the game at this level. There's still a lot for these guys to learn, and you can't assume that they know everything. That's the approach I take.
And Fran, tell people a little bit more about your background. If you're a high school baseball player, you probably know Fran from being behind the dish.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a football guy. I played college football.
That's right.
But always
At
had
Austin State.
always had a passion and love for baseball. And then just didn't have I wanted to play college ball, so I played that, and then got into umpiring. When I was up in Georgia, did it for about 10 years up there, and then moved down here. And like Chris, I took time off because I had a job and I couldn't do it. Got back in it about 2008 or something like that, and been doing it for JUA ever since. And had the privilege last year of working a semifinal, not this past season, season 4, a 6A semifinal down in Fort Myers, and a 7A finals as an umpire. And it was that Stoneman Douglas #1 team in the country. It was a pleasure doing that. And again, to me, it's been all about the kids, seeing guys grow, seeing them out in the hey, there's Fran. I remember you, from umpiring. I see him around and out and about in the schools, or not in the schools, but out and about in the stores and stuff like that. And it's just, it's cool to be part of it. It's great to make good friends from the coaches, with some of them, and then other ones, who knows? We'll just leave that at that. And then, but it's been great relationships that I've built, and I feel like I'm adding to the community a little bit.
Well, you guys are certainly adding to the community with the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League. It's a fantastic endeavor you guys started 4 years ago, and it's going strong and continuing to grow. So congratulations on all the success you've had so far and continued success going forward. I'll see you guys out there on Monday as we get going at the Bragan Complex. Thanks so much, guys.
Aren't you going to be there Friday?
I'll be there Friday. I will be there Friday.
No,
but we're talking here on Sunday morning, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, nice job.
That's right.
Nice job, Chris.
Hey, let's redo this thing again. Let's do it all over.
Chris Lein and Fran Delaney from the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it.
Bye.